Today we're gonna find out what happened when we added in the small piranha into the 700 gallon with a much larger piranha. Absolute carnage. Today we're gonna add the small piranha to the big piranha aquarium. And you might be asking yourself, how is it possible that you can add a bunch of small fish to a big fish tank? And this is one of the things I'd like to cover, and we've talked about this before. When adding fish or a group of fish to a new group of fish, one of the things that I like to do is feed them first and then add them as a group. Adding a group of piranha to another group of piranha is going to be incredibly difficult. However, we are faced with another issue. These guys are nowhere close to the size of these guys. In terms of mass, these ones here are probably double the size of the ones you just saw. But we have a few things going for us. First and foremost, obviously they're the same species. Second of all, they're becoming closer and closer in appearance to the other group. There's about a dozen in here now. Yeah, now, some piranha will eat the others. They'll eat the weakest, regardless of how much you feed them. It's just their instinct. These ones here are likely subadults, although they mostly still have their spawning amongst them. We also have an aquarium that is 700 gallons in size. We also have a tremendous amount of lush vegetation. Those are all real plants. The only thing I got to make sure I got to do first is feed them, make sure these guys are well fed, and add the little guys all at the same time. So a single fish cannot be singled out. A nice little handful, get you some lights here, of the do-it-yourself food I've shown you guys how to make before. This should do them over. We're also going to feed the babies because they might not eat in this tank for a day or two. Now, if I were to add the babies or the smaller piranha into this tank right now, they would probably do this to the food. They would single one out and eat it. Then they single another one out and eat it, and single another one out and eat it. Now, piranha are typically opportunistic feeders. They generally don't go after live fish, but if they are hungry, they will go after something that is worth going after. It's got to be big enough. I mean, obviously there's a ton of tetras in here. It doesn't look like a lot now, but they're all spread throughout the tank. Every time I feed, they kind of scatter. I'm a little worried about the tetras with the smaller guys. These guys, the red-eyed tetras, are technically small enough to be curious morsels for the smaller guys, but I think ultimately and honestly that everything's going to be fine. Look at you. Little one thinks it's a piranha. I'm going to let them finish this up and we'll feed the babies. Probably shouldn't call them babies, they're just juveniles. Juveniles and probably not even sub-adults. But we'll have about 30 piranha in that 700 gallon, and we're absolute fools if we think we don't get a pair out of that or we don't see some absolutely fascinating behavior. It's not very common you see a planted 700 gallon aquarium in a hobbyist tank with piranha in it, because a lot of the times, if you've been in the hobby long enough, piranhas are a waste of time. I don't think so anymore. My opinion has changed absolutely and entirely. I think that piranha can be an incredibly rewarding fish to keep in the home aquarium, so long as with the right aquascape, the right layout, which is essentially the same as aquascape, they can be absolutely fascinating. This tank is pretty cool on its own though, isn't it? No plants, no nothing, just some big boulders and some sand, and that's it. Well, some very fine-grained gravel, multicolored. I think they're going to do absolutely fantastic in that tank. I'm likely going to have to scoop them and put them in a bucket. I think that's how I'm going to transport them. I'm going to give them about 20 minutes to eat, and they'll be fine. Also, I didn't shave today. I know I look like trash. My tanks are dope, though. I think they're going to do just fine in the new tank with the bigger guys. I think being a planted tank with so many places for them to hide and find refuge, they'll be just fine. Will we lose a couple, you know, in a pack of piranha? Potentially. Keep them well fed, they'll be okay. I know I don't have the 16 that I started with though. I think I might only have 14 right now, which is fine. I'll get a final count once they're in the bucket, but it's not that piranha, you know, eat each other, but being almost entirely a wild caught fish, some of them do have and come in with internal parasites and may not survive the trip, and the other ones just kind of polish them off. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the bucket, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in there that I can see. I can't see behind the rocks. I'm gonna have to use my fingers. Usually just pushing with water is enough to get a fish to scoot out. They are a piranha. They get upset, they will eat me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's a dozen. Yeah. Way bigger in a bucket than they are in the tank, aren't they? Yeah, I think they're gonna be just fine, but time will tell. Let's add them. So what I'm thinking is I put the whole bucket in. The piranha are gonna get scared of the bucket, and I'm going to kind of pour them into the corner here, let them do their own thing. Move a few things out of the way. I don't have to acclimate them. Everything out here matches. Every aquarium's the same. All right. I don't want to pour them in. I'm going to fill the bucket in, scare off the big ones that are over there now, and let them swim out. Like so. Then hopefully grab the camera fast enough to be able to show you if anything actually ends up happening. So they're going over there. Come on, Joey. Yeah, see, they're going right back where I thought they might. Right back behind the background. Into the plants. I got to take this out of here. Yeah, the other piranha, since they've already eaten, they're not ready. They're not really on high alert. Like, hey, there's something new in the tank that I might want to eat. I can taste something. But we'll see what happens long term here in this aquarium. Good morning. Today we're going to find out what happened when we added in the small piranha into the 700 gallon with a much larger piranha. Many of you guys thought this was only going to end in one way. Oh no. Absolute carnage. Did they eat the tetras? Are the little ones there? Of course, I'm joking. Everything's fine. It's absolutely awesome. Absolutely phenomenal. Okay, I'll show you. Tetras are all still there. Tank is a little cloudy. I think they stirred up the substrate a little bit, but the pack of piranha is doing, let me fix this camera here, absolutely phenomenal. The pack is bigger. The smaller ones are mixed in with the larger ones. You can't really tell the size difference. There should be 28 total in here now. It's just absolutely incredible. Not a single one of the smaller ones seems to be damaged in any way. Neither are the big ones. And I'm gonna do a full disclosure right quick. Give you some light. Obviously, I didn't just add them last night and this is the first time seeing them. I did this a few days ago. And it's been such an amazing thing to come out to and see. This tank is like done. No more, I'm not adding any more piranha to it or any more, maybe more tetras, but that's it. No more anything else. I want to give these guys some time to grow out. Look at the plants. Look how everything is just absolutely phenomenally gorgeous. What an exciting tank to have right here. Just incredible. Yeah, even watching them feed, I do have to feed a heck of a lot more. Oh darn, there's velociraptors in the trees down there. It's incredible to feed them. The bigger ones obviously get the food first, but once they're full, the little ones go ahead and eat. Now, we fast forward this tank 6 months from now, and I can't imagine what it's going to look like. It's going to be incredible. Just absolutely fascinating. Now, there should be 120 tetras. You know, from the looks of things, maybe 40. It's really hard to see them all in the 700 gallon because this is 8 feet long, 5 feet wide front to back, but they're everywhere. They're all through the back. They're in the front. I just turned the lights on now, so everybody's, even the piranha are a little bit skittish, and the tetras are kind of out looking for food. they know once the lights comes on, I usually feed them right away. But they're not scared at all. Like, look at these guys over here just chilling, a little group of them. But yeah, you don't see any, I mean, it's hard to count the piranha. I mean, if I fed them, they'll probably stay more stationary, but there's some back in the plants right now. Some are probably behind the wood, or the whatchamacallits, where those tree trunks. But yeah, isn't this awesome? Again, a little cloudy because I think the bigger guys kind of stirred it up, but this tank is just gorgeous. I love it. It is complete. It's going to be a nightmare to, I can't move this tank, it's too big. It'd be a nightmare to take it apart. It was too expensive and too time consuming, and it just turned out perfect. It's got to stay here. It's got to stay here. This tank is done. I'm not switching this out. I'm not doing anything. This is fine. Just amazing. Look at them there. Now give this tank 6 months. The baby piranha are going to catch up to the adults for sure in size, and we should have about 28 6-inch piranha in about 6 months, because even the big guys are like 4 to 5 inches. The smaller ones are probably 3 to 4, so they're only behind by about an inch, but 1 inch in fish is pretty substantial. But now we have another empty 180-gallon tank that the piranha were in. What are we gonna do there? Come on, Luke, let's go show them. Always gotta wait for Luke. He's gotta be a part of it. Let's wait for him to come down. Come on, buddy. Come on. No, he knows I'm just gonna come right back up. Well, I'm working on something new. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be one of my favorite projects to date. I don't want to let anybody know too much about it because it's hard to envision the plans right now if I just showed you something, but and the long-term effects and what's going to happen here. But so I'm not going to ruin too much for you. With that said, if you join the membership of this channel, you'll find out everything all the time. Those guys know everything, and if you do, check out the membership, see if you want to join the channel. Certainly helps support the channel. Hope you guys enjoyed the piranha video though, and they're certainly doing a tremendous amount of updates on that and what's going on in the gallery. Like, a lot of the tanks are now empty and we got to figure something out. So lots of cool things to come. See you guys in the next video. Also, apparently Luke was coming down the stairs earlier and I was out here, and he stepped in the cat's water dish and slipped and fell down the stairs, so he doesn't want to go downstairs anymore. Ooh. Anyways, I gotta get back to work.